Welcome to the Robbie V Show. This thing is a lot. Can't hit every week, unfortunately. Last week was not my best. Good old Auburn. They lost, so fuck them. Just kidding. I love Auburn, but my God, and number two, Miami pushed, so great. Called that one. It's lovely. They did have a chance to put a TD up and. Jaguars offense, I guess, played a little, and their defense played a little better than I thought. But, what are you going to do? Sometimes just got to be humble. A lot of NFL news this week, a lot of college football news. And, we're going to go with the lock of the weeks. We're going to basically, I'll announce them on Saturday, respectively, Saturday at 10 a.m. and Sunday at 10 a.m. So I'll even do a video. So hopefully that, brings better karma. You can see my ugly mug, but, what are you going to do? All right, first, let's talk a little NFL news. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Deshaun Watson has been charged with sexual assault for about probably the 50th time. A couple of thoughts. First off, the allegations are absolutely horrifying. If you read them, he sounds like a fucking first-class dirtbag. Number two, I don't understand how the Browns are playing this guy this Sunday. When something like that comes out, I realize everyone's innocent but proven guilty, but he's also settled a lot of these claims for about $5 or $10 million. Clearly, Deshaun has a problem if he keeps getting himself into these situations. I don't really understand. He didn't play well last week. He sucked. And, he's missed a lot of football. There's no doubt about it. He missed a year with Houston. He only played like 6 games last year, and then this year, he played like shit. In week 1, he played like shit against the Cowboys. Cowboys looked actually pretty good, but we're not talking about the Cowboys. We're talking about Deshaun. I think Cleveland obviously needs to, within their legal right, get out of this contract as fast as humanly possible. Whether it's not going the legal route, which is Deshaun gets found guilty, which it could happen. NFL personal conduct policy, which the NFL is investigating this from they're going to meet with the woman in 2 weeks, so it'll be interesting what comes with that. Or just flat out, they can't flat out bite the bullet and cut him, but they got to figure out legally how to do it because, look, he's not that good of a quarterback anymore. He was a world beater way back when. But he's not that anymore, and he's not a good player. So you got to do what you got to do. Other NFL news this week: Patriots shocked the heck out of everybody. I don't think anyone saw that coming, including myself. Of course, it didn't hurt that T. Higgins wasn't playing, which what are you going to do? But the Patriots stepped up. Stevenson ran the ball great. Mayo had a great game. As head coach. He had a good game plan. They executed, and it's not much more than that. I think the star is off Joe Burrow a little bit after last week. Hey, look, he's still a great quarterback, but better quarterbacks have lost more and work with less, and he could have beat that Pats team. I was also surprised about how the Jets just got manhandled by the Niners. The Niners, McCaffrey was a late scratch, as we all know. But that didn't fucking matter because Niners just steamrolled them. Although dope of the day goes to the Niners defense. It could have won a parlay for some decent money, but instead, they let up a late game touchdown, and here we are. What are you gonna do? It's hot last year, and this year's starting off. This year's starting off. Oh, what was it? It was like 1-2-1. Yeah, not going so well this year so far, but we're going to be back. Shake it up. What's going on in the pros? I think I don't know why Jamar Chase said this. Said that since he's the team to beat in the AFC, I think Chase needs to fucking wake up a little bit. Well, first off, he needs to get paid. Apparently that's the only thing. He needs to make more money than Justin Jefferson because that's the only thing that was really on his mind last week. And I'll tell you one thing that wasn't on his mind. He wasn't really catching any football, so he only caught about 3 passes for like 30 yards last week. shout out that cornerback. His name escapes me right now from the Pats who shut his ass down. I mean, not a big surprise there. I mean, that guy was Jamar Chase. When everything's going, great, is a great player, but when everything's not, he's not that good. All of a sudden, it turns into, becomes normal. I guess games that I'm looking at, on the potential lock of the weeks, but again on Sunday. Washington might surprise the Giants. Giants suck last week. I mean, they were just awful. But I know the Commanders are at home, but I mean the Giants fans travel well, so it really might not be a home game. Chargers coming in -5. I mean, Carolina looked hopeless against the Saints last week. They sucked. They were not that good. Raiders and Ravens, both were -9. I realize the Raiders didn't play well, but Ravens didn't exactly light the world on fire. I don't know if that should be at 9. KC Bengals. I mean, it's at KC, but who knows? Bengals might have a bounce back game. Eagles Falcons. Eagles are favored by 6.5. I don't know. I don't know if that game's going to be the lock of the week. If I had to pick a lock of the week right now without just, top of my head, I'd probably pick, this is just kind of, maybe Cowboys -6 over Saints, and maybe the Colts over the Pack, just because even though they're on the road, Jordan, the Packers don't have Jordan Love, so we'll see how they, it all comes out. Before we get to college football, we're gonna go over the dope of the days and wonks of the week. I think the dope of the day, I mean, she's been in the news all this week, but Mama K with her 9/11 story, it's got some play with the show today. I don't know why you put that out there, but that's just me. Yeah, I don't really agree with it. I know she went on Kane's Corner. I haven't had a chance to listen to it. I'm sure it was good. But yeah, Mama K, dope of the day for her story. MVP goes to the definitely the stories of Mama K Twitter account. It's it's a lot of stories. I don't know if they're true, but yeah, it's an A+ burner account, and Robbie, I've had a lot of good chuckles out of it. So yeah, it's good. It's a good account. Shout out to whoever's running that. Wonk of the week has to go to Menace because he got suspended again from Twitter. This is two times in a year, in a month. Actually, it's the second time in 2 months. First he said something derogatory about Andy Mayo, and then he said something derogatory about Mutt. I mean, he's the leader of the network across the street. He should be above, getting his Twitter account suspended. And now he's using his network, his network's Twitter handle as his own, talking in the third person. I'm just not a big fan of that, I mean, just be better. He's always telling us to be better. So, Menace, you need to be better across the street. All right. The fact of the matter is that's what Robbie V thinks. So, what are you going to do? Kind of switching gears a little bit to baseball before we get into college. Sox, falling out of playoff. Well, have they fallen out of playoff? I think they have. Yeah, Sox have fallen out of playoff contention. They're 4 back, and there's 16 games to go. So other than a miracle, chances are they're not getting in. But I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? Sox. Just the team, ownership needs to spend more money. I think we all know that. But that's not to say I'm not proud of them. They had a hell of a better year than I thought they were going to have, to be honest with you. But I think John Henry and Tom Warner need to open up the checkbook. So for next season, we're not a mid. We're not, it's time to do that. Hold on. I mean, shout out. Oh, shout out Mets. They're trying to get in the wild position. It's good times. I mean, the Mets, oh no. I was trying to go to ESPN.com, but I ended up going to ESPN staffing. They're definitely not a freaking, Robbie V sponsor. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Might as well talk about the debate. The debate the other night, yeah, that was interesting. I don't know what more you want. I saw Joe Biden wearing a MAGA hat. That was interesting. I don't know what the backstory behind that is, but yeah, I don't know. It's probably dope of the day for that. I mean, it's vice president's running for president. You probably shouldn't do that, even if someone tells you to do it. It's not a good look. I think the people were puzzled. All right. So looking at college football this week, games that I might find interesting, or locks of the week. Bama at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's played like shit all fucking week, all year. They're not playing well. I'm definitely looking at that one. Line's minus 16, but which is a little high, I have to admit. So I might not. Michigan, no thanks. BC over. I mean, BC is underdog by 16 points over Mizzou. At Mizzou, I'll be honest with you. I actually think BC can cover this. BC is playing great right now. I mean, I think in a lot of years past they would have, Duquesne, they would have struggled. Not struggled, but they just would have took it as a cupcake game. They wouldn't have put them away. And I think that they took care of business, 56-0, and a lot of second stringers such as Turbo Richard actually got to go in last week. I don't think that. I think Mizzou hasn't played anyone, and neither really. If you want to count Florida State, but BC. I mean, BC really hasn't played anyone either. But I think BC is going to give them trouble. I think they're battle tested on the road. And I don't think being at Mizzou is really going to phase them at all. They don't have the biggest stadium as Doak down in Florida State. That's just my opinion. So I'm seriously thinking about making plus 16 BC lock of the week, but no announce it Saturday. The official word's coming Saturday, so just stay tuned. Other games, I mean, that I would think about it. I don't know. Maybe Georgia, Kentucky, but I don't know. Kentucky's not. They're not that good. I don't know. Nebraska on the heels of Actually, it's not. They're not a spread for that game. Jesus Christ. One game I would not bet on is like Tennessee versus Kent State. I mean, the spread's minus 49. Jesus Christ. I mean, you don't need to do that. That's just for the top 25. I mean, other games. I mean, Illinois showed some heart. I mean, they beat Kansas at home. Although 18.5 seems like a pretty ridiculous spread. I would look at Memphis. They have they're only dogs by 6.5, but they have a great offense, and Florida State's defense hasn't really proven they can stop anybody. And Memphis' quarterback Hennigan, he had a great game last week. 3 touchdowns, 469 yards. No, he had like 300 yards, or I think it was 2 something. So. Yeah, he played well. He's a good veteran quarterback. You want to go into the Doak. Coastal Carolina at Temple minus 18. Honestly, I would jump all over that. Temple sucks. They can't do anything right. They're not a good team. Coastal Carolina can put away, can run the ball with the best of them. They got a good offense. Not really missing that quarterback from last year. That's definitely I'm seriously looking at minus 18. And I guess last but not least, I'm going to throw another one out there. No, that's not good. Maybe, I don't know. Take a look at App State. They always have a good team. I mean, they're at East Carolina, but I mean, they always got a good squad. Maybe look at Duke. Maybe look at UConn versus Duke. Duke's at minus 16.5. UConn doesn't. I mean, they have one win this year, but I don't know. And I don't even know. I would look into that. All right, so a big announcement here. The Robbie V presidential campaign has been suspended. The fact of the matter is that, I might have the support of the Minifans, but I don't have the support nationwide. So who am I telling you to vote for? I'm not telling you to vote for anyone. You just write in Robbie V to make a statement. It's not. I wasn't invited to the debate. ABC News is a bunch of fucking morons, and they're a bunch of wonks and jabronis. They haven't really, my campaign, in Massachusetts and states beyond, hasn't been covered by, the establishment media. We're acting like Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are the real supporters, are the only candidates. When Robbie V, my wonk tax, the fact of the matter is, if we taxed wonks, every wonk action, we would have the national debt paid off in 2 years. It's just absolutely ridiculous that the people in the media can't understand that Robbie V is the best candidate out there. I ran a good campaign. I want to thank all of my supporters out there. Sometimes you just gotta, know when it's over, and it's over, folks. Maybe my campaign was, distracting me from picking winners from the lock of the week. And the lock of the week means more than leading the nation. Let's just be honest. You got to win people money. And if people don't want the wonk tax, I really can't freaking help them. I think leader and contenders for moron of the month in the clubhouse is Mama Kay and Menace so far. And that's really all I got to say about that. Again, please watch the Kirk Minahan channel programming. And this is Robbie V telling you that, I appreciate your support and I appreciate everything. This is Robbie V, signing off from an undisclosed location. And you know what? Fuck you, Secret Service, for not providing me any protection. I didn't need you anyway. Fuck off. This is Robbie V signing off. Thank you.